Let's set the stage. It's 1997, and a group of college kids are jamming to their own groove, blending rock, reggae, and jam band vibes. They call themselves Of a Revolution, or O.A.R, a band born in Rockville, Maryland, but finding their vibe at Ohio State University. They are barely out of their teens, but they're already crafting anthems that resonate with the carefree spirit of youth. Enter their debut album. Independently released in '97, clocking in at just over 40 minutes, this 9-track record is raw, heartfelt, and brimming with the kind of energy that screams road trips and late-night sing-alongs with your best friends. It's the sound of a band and a generation finding its soul. Welcome to Album Archives, the vault of music history, where we dive into the top 300 albums of all time as voted on by fans of the Music Rewind podcast. I'm your host, Steve Epley, and today we're stepping off the main list for an honorable mention that's close to my heart, The Wanderer by O.A.R. This album didn't crack our top 300, but as the guy running the show, I get to shine a light on some hidden gems, and this one's a diamond in the rough for me. Released in 1997, The Wanderer captures O.A.R.'s early days, blending rock roots, reggae, and a touch of jam band looseness. We'll explore its creation, its infectious vibe, and its place in O.A.R.'s journey, and why nearly 3 decades later, it still feels like a summer night with those friends. So kick back and let's hit the road and roll up north with The Wanderer.
I hit the road and I rode up north, looking for the origin, the place of my birth. I didn't notice when I ran a red sign, hoping that everything would be fine.
What makes The Wanderer worthy of an honorable mention? It's the raw, unpolished charm of a band that's just starting out, pouring their hearts into every note. This is O.A.R. before they were festival headliners, before the major label deals. Frontman Mark Roberge and his crew, guitarist Richard Ahn, bassist Benj Gershman, and drummer Chris Koulos. Just regular guys making the music they loved. The opening track, Missing Pieces, sets the tone with his jangly guitars and earnest vocals, a laid-back anthem about searching for meaning.
I woke up with a headache from the night before, 'cause sometimes I drink. I spent the night with my head in a toilet bowl. It's where I like to think, I say, 'cause I don't want no one to take a piece of my heart.
And at track 2, they come in swinging with That Was a Crazy Game of Poker, the sprawling 8-minute epic that became their calling card. It's a storytelling jam with a reggae rock pulse building to a climax that feels like a party in full swing.
That was a crazy game of poker. That was a crazy game of poker. I lost it all. But someday I'll be back again. And I never to fall.
The party keeps moving with Black Rock and then Conquering Fools, songs with such perpetual motion you just can't help but dance and sing along. Let's zoom in on That Was a Crazy Game of Poker for a moment. This track is O.A.R.'s origin story, a fan favorite that's still a staple of their live shows. Also likely played at every party you went to in the 2000s, and likely closed out every crooner acoustic set in every dive bar across the nation. It's got everything: a catchy riff, a narrative about a wild night, and a loose, improvisational feel that nods to their jam band roots. Roberge's vocals are gritty yet warm, like he's telling the story over a campfire, and you can't help but sing along to that chorus.
So I said, Johnny, what you doing tonight? He looked at me with a face full of fright, and I said, how about a revolution? And he said, right. I said, oh, you say I say revolution, and you say die. I said, oh, you say...
You've also got About an Hour Ago, which kicks off with a laid-back, infectious groove that perfectly encapsulates O.A.R.'s early jam band roots. It's the kind of song that feels like it was born in a smoky bar, capturing the band's raw, unpolished talent. On the other hand, About Mr. Brown dials up with the funk and rock, delivering a punchy storytelling anthem. It's a standout track, and a personal favorite of mine, that balances introspective lyrics with a bold, almost cinematic sound, hinting at the band's ability to blend intimate narratives with a larger-than-life stage presence.
What's that you do when no one's looking at you? Where's that you go?
Wanderer is a compact yet vibrant debut. 9 tracks clocking in just under 43 minutes, each one brimming with personality. The rhythm section, bass and drums, anchors the album with a tight yet freewheeling groove, adding color and soul. The Wanderer captures a young band reveling in their chemistry, delivering a sound that's raw, infectious, and unmistakably fun.
I say you know her, mom knows her, so what you want, she says. One toy today, she says.
Thematically, The Wanderer is about youth, freedom, and the open road. The album's title reflects the band's mindset, wandering through life, chasing dreams, and finding connection through music. Songs like Missing Pieces and About an Hour Ago grapple with the uncertainties of young adulthood, while Black Rock and Toy Store celebrate the joy of living in the now. O.A.R. may have been inspired by the likes of Dave Matthews and Sublime, but they carved out their own space with a sound that's equal parts Rockville and reggae. It's music for late-night drives, college parties, and those moments where you just feel infinite. Let's set the scene that is 1997. The music world was wild. Radiohead dropped OK Computer, the Notorious B.I.G. was topping the charts, and the jam band scene was thriving with Fish and Widespread Panic. O.A.R. was just a group of college kids, burning CDs and passing them out at their shows. The Wanderer was recorded on a shoestring budget in a small studio, with the band capturing their live energy in just a few takes, because that's all they had. It spread through word of mouth, shared among college students like a secret handshake. By the early 2000s, O.A.R. was a cult favorite, and tracks like Poker were anthems for an entire generation. Critics didn't pay much attention, some called it frat rock, but the fans, they got it. I remember stumbling across this band when I was on leave from the Army, visiting friends in college. Special thanks to my friend Rick, who swore it was the ultimate road trip soundtrack on our way there. He wasn't wrong.
There was a man on the road about an hour ago, and he was looking for a ride to New Mexico. He was driving by way too fast to know.
Why does The Wanderer endure? First, its authenticity. O.A.R. wasn't chasing fame, they were just making the music they loved. Second, its versatility. It's as perfect for a chill beach day as it is for a packed concert. Third, its heart. It captures that fleeting moment when you're young, restless, and ready to take on the world. And that's coming from a guy who has seen O.A.R. 4 times now, in my teens, 20s, 30s, and 40s. Each time worth it. The album cover, with its shortened abbreviation of the band name, actually became an iconic logo for the entire music world. For me, The Wanderer is summer nights, open windows, and singing along with your friends until your voice gives out. It's O.A.R. at their most raw and real, and you can't help but ask, how about a revolution?
And I said, how about a revolution? And he said, right. I said, oh, you say I say revolution, and you say jive. I said, oh, you say I say revolution, and you say jive. Well, I said, oh, and you.
One more note. It can't be understated how much The Wanderer was a DIY effort, recorded in a single weekend with minimal production. Listen to About Mr. Brown, a funky, upbeat track where Robert's vocals dance over that tight, hypnotic groove. The rawness is what makes the album feel like you're right there with them, jamming in the basement. If you haven't revisited The Wanderer lately, do yourself a favor, dig up the CD, find it on streaming, or hunt down the vinyl if you can find it. It's a time capsule of late 90s optimism and a testament to O.A.R.'s enduring appeal. New to it, you're in for a feel-good ride that's equal parts nostalgic and timeless. Not to mention, a personal favorite of mine. That's it for this honorable mention edition of Album Archives, the Vault of Music History. If you enjoyed it, share it with a friend or leave a review wherever you listen. Next up, we're back to our dive into the top 300 albums of all time. Check out the album list over on musicrewindpodcast.com to see where we're at and where we're headed. For now, I'm Steve Epley, and as I always say, listen to the full album. Until next time.
A podcast from the Sidereal Media Group. Back to you, anchors.